Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we are discussing The Way Home, Season 4, Episode 9, the penultimate episode in the series, Auld Lang Syne, which originally aired on the Hallmark Channel on Sunday, June 14th, and is now streaming on Hallmark Plus.
I feel like we should give some sort of spoiler alert here.
Oh, yeah. If you're listening and expecting this to be spoiler-free, this ain't the show for you.
Yeah.
I hope that's clear. We don't typically do a spoiler alert, but this will be spoiler-full.
Yeah. And I think like if you're like, oh, I'm going to listen to it first. No. Go watch the episode first and then come back and listen to us.
For sure. For sure. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it with a synopsis.
New Year's Eve in 1925 brings into focus the Landry and the Augustine family's destiny, and Elliot and Kat witness it. And another time, Alice does the same.
Hey, Wendy, what was your first impression of Auld Lang Syne?
Again, spoiler alert. But Hallmark has trained me to believe in happy endings, so there is absolutely no way they just killed Elliot Augustine.
I mean, it looked bad, right?
It looked really bad. It was a great scene.
Incredible.
Incredible.
I mean,
Emmy-worthy. Do you think?
Evan Williams looked afraid for his life.
Yeah, good acting. Kind of like roasted Evan Williams. No, I didn't roast Evan Williams this year. I think I roasted the character of Elliot this year.
Indeed.
And that's why I felt very sad at the end of this episode.
I did too. My first impression is I need the writers to start doing some serious explaining to help me understand how could we not love our beautiful boy, Vic, became the terrible human we know in present day.
Right? What happened?
I need to know.
What happened? Because I'll just skip ahead for a second. When Vic gets real hot with Griffin at the party scene.
Yes.
You know, I was like, okay, Vic's a stand-up guy.
Yes.
He's worried about his Tessa. He's worried about his baby. Well, what happens to Vic? Why does Vic become like such a terrible person?
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Where do you want to start? This episode is all over the place in terms of timelines.
Yeah.
So our discussion of it is going to kind of be as well. There's no good place to start because chronologically it carries through. So yeah, let's start talking about young Tessa, who's clearly struggling.
It's heartbreaking.
The look on her face. Have you ever seen when Alice jumps, Griffin sees her, which we'll talk, and Tessa comes up, the look on her face. Have you ever seen those videos? This is horrifying, but of like children before and after they've been kidnapped?
No.
And the look on their face?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm glad because it's horrifying, but that is she was giving me that
what
traumatized.
TikTok are you on?
That's
wild stuff, girl.
It's dark. So she looks terrified.
Yeah, but she doesn't react to.
She's like numb.
She is numb. Maybe. Oh, that's a good point, Megan. Like maybe she's not even clocking. Like Griffin makes like a bullshit excuse of like why Alice is there, why Alice is wet. She slipped on the rocks, whatever.
She doesn't even care.
She doesn't even care. Yeah. It didn't really dawn on me that Tessa might be struggling with postpartum depression until later in the episode.
Oh, that was instantly what I thought when she walks up.
In this moment, I just was like, oh, I think she's just in the thick of it and she doesn't know how to care for this baby who is fussy.
Sure.
Which I'm sure like that was a lot of the narrative during that in those days was probably like, oh, it's just a fussy baby and you're tired and you're like out of it,
Yeah.
When women were really, truly struggling with PPD.
I think it's interesting because she says to Alice, she says, like, I envy your ability to come and go. We've had children, you know how rapidly it changes your life. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, my time is not my own.
Yeah.
But she also says, it's so hard and nobody talks about that. And this was in 2026, people are talking about it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The rise of the mommy blog, obviously people started talking about it. But in the early 80s, I don't think people were talking realistically about what it was like. Our listener mailbag pointed out postpartum depression was not a recognized diagnosis. So this wasn't something that people talked about.
Yeah.
She didn't know that this is a thing that you could be facing. And, she's comparing herself to Dell.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
But even when the numbness, when Alice comes out to the house, the smoke alarm is going off. She gets Elliot. Tessa comes running, not even running, walking up with Lewis from the pond. she's like, oh my gosh, but she's not really that panicked. Mm-hmm. You know, everyone else is kind of more freaked out in that moment than Tessa is.
You know, that scene, okay, so while their smoke detectors going off, it made me hate Evie in this little scene. And I love Evie, but she was really shaming Tessa.
How could you leave your baby?
Yeah. And I just felt horrible for Tessa. And I don't even think Tessa is a character that I generally root for.
No.
Like, I don't like adult Tessa. Auntie Coop.
Sure. No, me either. They're two different people to me.
Yes. Yeah. In my notes, it's always Tessa. I don't refer to her as Auntie Coop.
But that's another character development that we don't, I think, know or really know enough about, like how she became this hardened criminal,
right?
Basically. Although, you know, when you look back at her stealing from the till at Coyle's, maybe that does speak to a person who was walking the line of legality.
Right.
We have the party at the Landry's with the tainted love scene. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we get revealed to us in elements of this episode that Griffin and Tessa have a little bit of a relationship. Tessa seems shocked to see Alice because she was probably meeting Griffin at the pond.
Yeah.
Then we hear Colton yelling at Griffin, I know what you're doing. I know you've been meeting. You need to knock it off. We hear basically that same conversation.
You need to knock it off. I love that.
Yeah, well.
It's essentially what he says.
Yeah. And then we have basically that same conversation in their kitchen where he's like, back off. Mm-hmm. Vic discovers her bracelet.
Yes.
It's like, I forgot where I got it. And Griffin like busts in. He's like, I gave it to her.
Yeah, this whole thing is a mess here. To me, it's too many things happening at too rapid of a pace with no additional context. Mm-hmm. I have a hard time buying into the Griffin and Tessa of it all, that they had some sort of dance together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've never seen them be close. We've only seen Griffin inquire about who she is, maybe give her like a little bit of like looks from across the room. But I'm having a hard time believing that Tessa would jump with Griffin. Why? Right? Like, that hasn't come full circle. I'm praying in episode 10 that there's closure there. There's more understanding from the viewer's point of view, the reasons why Tessa jumps with Griffin, because I'm not sure we have been told enough or shown enough that she was in love with Griffin or having some sort of affair with Griffin. Why would she leave Vic? Like, I'm not understanding it yet.
Yeah. So in this episode leads me to believe that she's not in love with Griffin, nor is she having an affair with Griffin, but that he is a means to an end. Because at this party, after they've had this big blow up that, you know, Vic gets mad at Griffin. Why are you buying a bracelet for my girl? And then we find out they all start like redirecting blame. And Griffin's like, well, Evie's in love with you, Colton, and you're not paying attention. And then Evie's like, well, Tessa left her baby at home. And so they're all yelling at each other. And then Fern comes in and delivers the prophecy. This is how it begins. And I'll tell you how it ends. You'll kill your son. Back to your first impression. We're left at the end of this episode thinking Elliot is in grave danger. Mm-hmm. This to me speaks to a couple of different things. One, I think Tessa is genuinely afraid in this time that she is dangerous to her son, Lewis, baby Elliot. But as the viewer, we know it's deeper than that Tessa shoots Elliot, mm-hmm. and Fern would know that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, episode 10 has a lot to do here, but I also think a lot of people in our listener mailbag speculated like the love that Tessa is jumping for is not Griffin, it's Elliot. And so I am thinking now Griffin is a means to an end. Griffin helps her.
Yeah.
She somehow, something happens. She's like, I have got to get out of here. And he says, I got a way we can do it.
Yeah, I buy that. I buy that.
I saw Alice come out of the pond. The pond is magical. Let's give it a go.
Let's try it.
Let's see what happens. Let's get out of here. Where are we going? We don't need no suitcases. If you're not listening to our listener mailbag, guys, it's a good time.
Okay, but here's my question. And I'm processing it in real time. Fern tells Tessa the future. Mm-hmm. But Fern is not a time traveler. So it is okay that she tells her that future. You know, because Fern's like, you will kill your son.
That's good.
The unspoken rules are the unwritten rules are you don't talk about future time travel or you don't talk about what happens in the future. Mm-hmm. But here, Fern has revealed that Tessa will kill her son. And what do you think Colton's thinking in this time? He's like, no, it's just my crazy grandma.
Yeah.
Just ignore my crazy grandma.
Yeah, good question.
It's just this really, can you imagine receiving that information as a mother in the depths of postpartum depression? You're already questioning.
Yeah, those are the intrusive thoughts that you're having.
For real. It's kind of deep and dark for this show. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this show is kind of deep and dark anyway, but like for Hallmark.
Yeah. So let's talk about that tunnel explosion.
Okay.
There is, once again, a lot going on here. Kat and Elliot come rushing in. They're going to save the day. And they show up where Fern is doing her screen test. And they're like, they're going to kill Auntie Coop. It's going to explode. And Griffin comes busting in. Stop.
It's all anticlimactic for me here.
Yes. And then they're like, yeah, it's going to explode. And she's going to get away. And then Kat and Elliot just accept this. And I was like, did it not occur to you? Because they're like, oh, we're going to stage this explosion for the show. It took them too long, in my opinion, to get to the idea that, oh, it couldn't be happening on New Year's Eve. They're not filming at New Year's Eve. It took them too long to get there.
Yeah, I agree. Back to when Kat comes busting in on the Fern's audition tape.
Right up to the camera. Yes.
You have to leave. She's doing a job tonight. Kat has no finesse to her at all.
Like, why? I guess she knows she ends up on camera. What has happened will always happen. And it's a nice plot device for her to end up on camera. But like, be a better time traveler. Don't rush into the film reel.
Yes. But my point is, like, earlier in the season with that whole scene, Kat has like hypothesized, she's like, we look terrified. We're reacting to somebody because we're in danger.
Yeah.
It's Grayson who comes in and he's like, stop, hold the same. There's no danger presented here.
There's no danger. It's just startling.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if this is because we've had a change from this is going to be a 2 more seasons, and now we only have 1 season. We have to wrap this up.
I don't know either.
Scenario. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But then we get to the like whole like Grayson and explaining, oh, we're going to do this big tunnel explosion. And then this is going to be a means to Tessa's going to be able to like get away.
Yeah, and this will appease the movie producer who doesn't want to have the stink of bootlegging on him.
Exactly. And then Grayson like clears his name. Like, it all seems like this great plan. And Fern is just like hook, line, and sinker on it. She's like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Blah, 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 whatever.
But I do think that was what was going to happen.
I don't know, because if you see the explosion, we don't see the explosion. We hear the explosion at the end when Grayson and Fern are outside celebrating New Year's Eve and they're watching fireworks, right? Grayson is emotionless. Like, he doesn't even like react to the explosion. And I'm like,
Yeah, good point. That's a good point. But this was accidental, this explosion.
I know.
Before the explosion happens, Rita reveals, no. That 5 went in, 4 came out is misleading. It's not that one person didn't come out. It's that one person's body went missing.
This is so murky to me.
So she's like, they all died.
I'm still unclear what that means. Why would they have 4 went in or 5 went in and 4 came out?
Because 4 bodies were found. 1 body was never recovered. That's what she says.
Oh.
So then it's the question of who's the unrecovered body. Now, we see Kat dragging Elliot out after he was shot.
Cliff is down there.
Cliff's other cop dude is down there.
Yes.
Percy and Little Mo are down there.
That's 4.
But then we also have Kat and Elliot is 6.
And Tessa. We're not even counting Tessa.
And Tessa.
Cliff, Tessa, Rando cop, Augie brother. Mm-hmm. That's 5. And then we have Kat and Elliot, which makes 7.
But perhaps it's only that the ones that Grayson knew were down there. So Grayson knew Kat, Elliot, Tessa, and her 2 dudes. Grayson knew of 5.
Okay.
Grayson didn't know that
Cliff was down there and the cop was down there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that's murky too. It's all murky.
It is.
Who's the missing body? I mean, it's easy to assume it's Elliot, but then I don't know. Like, does someone else get away that we don't know about? We don't know anything, and we have not watched, but I'm dying to watch.
Yeah. talk about this scene. This is such an incredible scene. Mm-hmm. It's super chaotic.
Mm-hmm. Slow motion.
Tessa pulls the gun. She's pointing the gun at Kat.
Yeah.
And Elliot steps in and he's, but I'm trying to remember, like, does Tessa fire and then Elliot steps in? Like, was Tessa trying to kill Kat?
Tessa aims. Like, Kat jumps in and Tessa, like, turns to aim.
Yes.
And then she doesn't fire yet when Elliot jumps in front of Kat. It's like she's aiming, about to fire. Elliot jumps in and Elliot catches the bullet.
Yeah, so was she going to kill Kat?
Seems like it.
Right?
Seems like it.
It just makes me wonder, why would Tessa point the gun at Kat?
That's a great question that I don't know either. Like, when I think about when I watched that scene, because I watched it twice, what is it about that? Is she just, why would she point the gun and fire it at Kat? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But then we have, the slow motion of the lantern falling and the kerosene spilling out. And then there's just happens to be boxes of explosives down there too.
I know. Well, to me, it was giving like Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland when they cut to that like labeled boxes of explosives.
Yeah, exactly. But all this time, Kat is like Superwoman and she's basically picking up Elliot and she's going to drag him out. He's not dead. Like, he's grasping at like where he's been shot in the heart.
Yeah. In the chest, for sure.
In the chest. She's dragging him out of there. It leads me to believe that, I even texted Megan, I was like, they got out before the explosion, right?
It's unclear. It's intentionally unclear.
I know, but
we know that Kat is in the future. So
yes, you're right.
So they must get out. But does Elliot survive?
Does he survive?
Like, is she jumping in the pond with a bleeding Elliot? What if she ends up in 1814?
Oh my gosh, I can't.
I mean, that's dangerous. I'm thinking here, your comment about Grayson being emotionless. Grayson made some digs at Fern. We know that Fern has broken up with Grayson, but they're keeping up illusions because the movie producer likes them.
Yeah.
Fine. But he makes a comment like, she says 1926 is going to be full of new beginnings. And he says, certainly for you, dear. And her face kind of changes. And then at the party, he's like, well, let's basically go have like one last go of it. Mm-hmm. If he knew, because he saw Elliot get arrested, if he knew that Cliff was in the catacombs when the explosion happened, he might be pleased that Fern's happily ever after will no longer be.
Yeah. That's a good little theory there.
So we haven't really talked about that. Cliff and Fern get engaged.
Uh-huh.
And I want to flash back to our listener mailbag because someone said in the 70s, Fern is wearing a wedding band. Mm. Well, if you saw, her engagement ring is a band.
Yes.
So that answers that question, that they never need to have gotten married for her to be wearing that.
Right.
So that was interesting.
But we still don't know who Colton's.
We don't know for sure if she was pregnant at this time. We don't know.
Yeah.
When Kat jumps with Elliot, Alice also jumps. And I think that's such a funny scene because Dell comes upon this letter that Kat has left. She's like, she leaves and leaves a letter. And then Alice doesn't even say anything. She takes off and Dell's like, it's not you two.
Yeah.
It's become like almost comical the way they use the pond.
I agree.
But Alice emerges in 1980. Griffin's on the bank of the pond, takes a photo of her. And she's like, don't tell Colton. Fine. We have this whole Tessa scene that occurs. But also in this moment, Griffin takes a photo of Tessa holding baby Elliot, and Alice is in it, which answers the question, who was in the photo of Tessa that they had never seen.
Yep.
It's Alice standing right there. Great.
Who ripped it?
Who ripped it? Who put it in the suitcase? All of this.
Yeah.
The thing about Alice in the 1980s is when she's watching that party with the tainted love scene, she's in the house.
She's by the stairs.
How is she getting away with this?
I don't know. This is one of the things that bothers me, but I've just learned to accept it at this point.
Like we had to keep out. Alice couldn't continue to be a part of it because she wasn't aging along with them. So we have to have her hiding. Man, it's worth noting. What's interesting is Griff says they were right. The pond is magical. Like, what did he know about the pond? When does he first time travel? Is it when he takes Tessa? Does he do a practice trip ahead of time? So many questions.
And Griffin doesn't know who Alice is at this point, does he? When she comes out of the pond, he just is like...
I don't think he does. He knows he's known something is going on this whole time. He's given indications, but no, he doesn't know who she is. And she doesn't want Colton to know yet, because Colton doesn't find out till he's an adult.
Griffin doesn't even ask though. But why? What's Colton to you?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and does he know the lore of the pond that only Landrys can time travel?
Yeah, I'm guessing he doesn't, because Colton, to me, doesn't at this time, right? He doesn't know the lore of the pond either.
Correct.
So maybe they just were not aware.
Another question.
Yes.
That's what I mean. It's another.
Oh, okay.
The other thing is we get the most anticlimactic reveal ever. Danny's the letter writer.
I'm so disappointed in this part.
Jacob sees the typewriter. He taps the end. The end's crooked. He realizes Danny shows up and he's like, it was me.
Could have told you that last season.
Yeah, duh. We knew.
I still don't really understand Danny's reasoning why. You know, he says that he felt guilty all this time. Mm-hmm. And he felt like he was a scapegoat.
Mm-hmm. They don't push back on the story of Jacob going after his stuffed animal. And that's what led him to kind of get swept away.
Right.
So they allowed Danny to continue to take the fall.
Okay.
So he's like, well, I'm going to punish you.
I think that's so dumb. Mm-hmm. I just think that was so anticlimactic. It was such a great reveal. Was that last season when they showed the typewriter?
Of course.
That was phenomenal. For it to just come out to this, you know, Jacob puts it together in like 2 seconds.
It's underwhelming.
So underwhelming. And then Danny just confesses. It was me. And all is good. Give me a big hug.
As soon as he realizes that Jake saw the typewriter, he's like, well, okay, cat's out of the bag. Guess I'm going to go let him go. And
I've been tormenting Del all these years.
Jacob says, like, I'll tell you, but you're not going to believe me. Now, he doesn't tell him.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Danny, are you like, Jacob's like, not right now, though. I got to go sit by the fire and have a chat with my sister. If you're Danny, wouldn't you be like, tell me right now? Explain it to me. Where were you? Explain it to me right now.
Yeah.
But they don't. So
it's all settled with a hug.
Settled with a hug, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, really think about it. Del was tormented by these notes.
Yes.
Tormented.
Yes, it was a big storyline.
And Del's just like, okay, I understand. We did you wrong, Danny, so it's okay that you did us wrong.
I think Del's right that she has a part in this, but I'm not sure Danny, like, they were threatening letters.
I know.
But Danny doesn't have all the information. He assumed they were hiding Jacob off site somewhere, and they knew, and they were continuing to perpetuate this story. If you don't know about time travel and you see the scene they show, it does seem like Jacob is somewhere gettable.
That's fair. It's fair. But if you're Danny and Jacob's just like, I'll tell you
but it's also
later.
Been 20 years at this point when Alice and Kat are discussing Jacob, like, clearly, assuming they knew where he wasn't, things were clearly still bad.
Yeah.
Maybe he's being kept in a warehouse. You know, he's not like he's like, I'm just going to hide in the barn. I don't want to come out.
Yeah.
So I think Danny has more to answer to here.
And I don't think they are. I think this is going to be the end. I think it's done. That's over and done with. Do you think the writers were like, okay, how are we going to wrap this? Like, I appreciate that they're tying all these loose ends up, but they're not to my satisfaction.
Okay, let's talk about Jacob and Abby and the blackmail accusation.
I mean,
kind of forgot about that.
Totally forgot about it.
But okay, Jacob shows up at her wine presentation. She says, but Daddy, I love him. Daddy, please. And he was like, oh, you want me to let you be with the man who's been blackmailing? Now, is it fair to say they've been blackmailing them? Because the will exists.
Yep.
So maybe Lewis didn't know the will existed. Maybe he wasn't acting in bad faith, but that land is technically theirs.
Right.
So is it blackmail, or is it saying, like, you know, that's ours. We're not going to take it back.
Technicalities.
If you don't send my kid to prison.
Technicalities. You know, it's silly to me. I'm like, why is Lewis such a dick sometimes? I don't know why he needs to be put, like, the Landrys on blast in this public forum. Mm-hmm. Really crush his daughters.
Are you telling me you're dating the man whose family is blackmailing us?
Silly. It's silly. And of course she's going to, like, be on her dad's side. And be like,
yeah. And he's like, Jake's like, yeah, that's true. But that's not the whole story. Yeah, tell the whole story. Tell me the story. I'm going to tell you. but you're not going to believe it. It's not the whole story, but I'm not going to tell you now. Gosh dang, tell the freaking story.
Yeah.
I don't let anything go. So if someone's like, oh, can we talk later? I'll be like, no. Right now. Because I'm going to spin out about this.
Totally. Okay, I have a question. Okay, I know we've talked about it. Do we think that all gets resolved between Abby and Jacob and it's their wedding nuptials at the end?
I do.
And do you believe that Casey is their child?
I do still.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah, I think Jacob's going to, I don't know what he's going to tell Abby exactly, but...
Well, maybe he'll tell her the whole story and she'll realize there's
I'm
nuance.
a time traveler, that I spent a majority of my lifetime in the 1800s.
No, the will. Just the will.
But you don't think he's going to tell her about that?
I hope he does. But again... I think it's a tough pill to swallow for Abby to be like, okay.
I wish my life was that exciting. I wish I knew somebody who just came to me and was like, listen, I have a secret to tell you.
And would you be like, I totally believe you. I totally believe you.
Maybe. If they have
I'd be skeptical. But...
receipts. Yes. I'd be like, anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know?
So the last thing in this episode, Fern and Kat have what I consider to be a nice moment on the day Kat comes home from the hospital, but it's weird to me.
I'm rolling my eyes.
Like Kat and Elliot arrive in the 80s instead of present day. Mm-hmm. And Elliot's like, we gotta go. Like, this isn't where we need to be. And she's like, wait, maybe Fern knows something. And Fern says like, oh, you're still in the middle of all that. And Fern's so happy to see Elliot, which is another one of those like, is Elliot okay? But they bring Catherine home.
Baby Catherine
home from the hospital. And she goes, Catherine.
Wait, hold on. Before I can stop you there, I just laughed because Delle's holding the car seat on her lap.
Dude, my mom talks about how I looked uncomfortable in my car seat, so she took me out and held me on the way home from the hospital. Like, times were different. That was 1979 when I was born, y'all.
So different.
Yeah, Delle's holding her car seat on the lap. I did notice that too. And he says, this is Catherine. And she goes, Catherine. And she looks at Kat and she goes, kitty cat. Now Kat nods. Did Fern not know who Kat was all this time?
I don't know. I hate this whole little minute scene here because Elliot and Kat are out of sight, but still within earshot. So they can hear all this stuff. And like Kat gives her a nod like, yeah, that's me. And like Colton and Delle don't see any of this happening.
No,
I hate it. I hate it.
And then Fern sings Beautiful Dreamer.
Yeah, I thought that was the most interesting bit of it.
Did Fern get that from Auntie Coop?
I don't know, because who put the freaking clock in the wall? The clock is the one that plays Beautiful Dreamer.
I know.
So how does Fern know about...
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, please don't open up another like loose thread.
I know.
One episode before the finale.
Agree. So the other scene that I just want to point out that Kat and Elliot watched from afar was the Cliff and Tessa engagement. And Kat goes, that's how it's done. And Elliot's like, I'll show you how it's done.
Let me
he like
plant
pushes her up against the car.
Yeah.
He's like, come here, sweetheart.
It borderline's corny for me.
Sometimes, yeah.
Especially some of the stuff in the 1925. The Cliff and Fern of it all is real corny to me. I don't know if it's just the way that it's executed.
Yeah. Look, the final scene for me did a lot of mending of my heart for this show.
Yes, agree.
Fern singing Auld Lang Syne as the slow motion aftermath of the shooting is happening was incredibly well done and has me looking forward to... I'm going to watch the finale like immediately. I wanted to talk about it here so my brain would not be spoiled and I wouldn't... I would just be asking and guessing and not knowing. But it made me excited to watch the finale.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Megan sent me a text and she's like, first of all, she's like, I need you to watch episode 9 like immediately. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, whoa, our mailbag. She was so impressed with some of the writer inners who have clocked
exactly what's happening.
Yes. Uh-huh. So it is wild to read your predictions in mailbag. And
because someone straight up called postpartum depression.
I know.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yes.
Impressive.
Very impressive. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of smart listeners out here who are dialed in. We're not them though.
We're not them. We're just simply the messengers. We're just the messenger. We're just like Fern.
Yeah, we're just along for the ride. We have adopted we're not going to figure it out. We're just going to go for the ride.
That's right. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. Remember, you can send in your listener mailbag comments to hello@girlsgonehallmark.com. There's not going to be a mailbag this week. Sorry. But please send your thoughts and comments in because we are going to do one giant mailbag after episode 10. So we can talk about your theories and how they all panned out. And we will be back next week discussing the series finale of The Way Home. Bye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.